Deep beneath the waves, where sunlight danced like silver ribbons, there lived a small golden fish named Finley. His scales shimmered brighter than any other fish in the Coral Kingdom, and wherever he swam, the water seemed to sparkle with him. Finley was proud of his beauty, perhaps a little too proud. He lived near a grand coral castle, surrounded by schools of fish of every color imaginable, blue tangs, shy seahorses, and even glowing jellyfish that drifted like lanterns in the sea. Everyone liked Finley, but they often whispered among themselves. "Finley is kind," they said, "but he never shares his treasures." You see, Finley had a special cave filled with shiny shells, colorful pebbles, and glittering pearls. Whenever he found something that sparkled, he tucked it away for himself. He loved to admire his collection and count it again and again, as if each piece made him a little happier, though, deep down, it never truly did. One bright morning, Finley found something new glimmering near the seaweed forest, a small piece of rainbow glass. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. He gasped, darted forward, and grabbed it before anyone else could notice. "Mine," he whispered, tucking it under his fin and racing back to his cave. But just as he was about to hide it, a soft voice called from behind. "Finley, wait." It was Coralina, a gentle sea turtle who had lived in the ocean for nearly 100 years. Her shell was cracked and covered with tiny starfish, and her eyes were warm and wise. "Good morning, Coralina," Finley said quickly, trying to hide the rainbow glass behind his tail. "What have you found there, little one?" she asked kindly. "Oh, nothing," said Finley. Just a rock." Coralina smiled knowingly. "Ah, I see. Well, I was hoping to find something shiny for the Shell Festival tonight. But if it's just a rock, never mind." When Finley swam into the center, everyone cheered. "For the bravest fish in the sea!" Pip shouted proudly. Finley blushed. "I'm not brave," he said, smiling. "I was just tired of keeping everything to myself." Coralina floated beside him. "And that, Finley, is what true bravery is, to change your heart." The crowd clapped their fins and tails in joy, and Finley felt warmth spread through him. For the first time, he wasn't shining because of his golden scales, he was shining because of something deeper. As the celebration continued, a soft current brushed through the reef. The water sparkled in a way Finley hadn't seen before, like thousands of stars falling from above. The sea itself seemed to hum, a low and beautiful sound. Then, something miraculous happened. From the heart of the ocean rose a single pearl, larger and brighter than any seen before. It floated down gently, resting before Finley. The pearl glowed with all the colors of the sea, blues, greens, golds, and pinks swirling together in perfect harmony. The ocean whispered through the current. "To the one who learned to share, we give our light." Finley gasped. The pearl shone warmly against his fins. It wasn't just beautiful, it felt alive, pulsing with kindness and peace. Coralina's eyes glistened. "The ocean's gift," she said softly. "It appears only for those whose hearts shine brighter than their scales." Finley bowed his head humbly. "I'll protect it. And I'll use its light for everyone." He swam to the tallest coral spire in the kingdom and placed the pearl gently at its peak. Instantly, a wave of light spread through the water, brighter and softer than ever before. The sea glowed like sunrise, every shadow chased away. All the creatures cheered, their laughter echoing like music through the ocean depths. The Coral Kingdom was quiet once more. The darkness had passed, and the water shimmered like a dream. Every coral tower glowed with soft light, and schools of fish danced gracefully through the waves. The storm, the fear, the shadow, all had faded into memory. But for Finley, something had changed forever. He no longer woke each morning thinking of treasures to find. Instead, he swam among his friends, helping them rebuild their homes, planting seaweed gardens, and teaching the little ones to share their shells and pebbles. The sea, it seemed, had grown warmer, not in temperature, but in spirit. One day, Coralina visited him near his cave. She smiled as she looked inside and saw what used to be Finley's secret hoard of treasures. It was almost empty now, only a few shells remained, arranged neatly in a small circle. "You've let go of so much, Finley," she said softly. He nodded. "It feels lighter this way. I thought treasures made me happy, but helping others makes the sea shine brighter than anything I could ever keep." Coralina chuckled. "Wisdom shines brighter than gold, my dear. And generosity, brighter still." Finley tilted his head. "Do you think the great eel is gone for good?" The old turtle looked out toward the deep trench. "Perhaps not forever. Darkness always hides somewhere. But as long as light exists here," she tapped his fin gently, "it can never truly return." Finley smiled. "Then we'll keep the light alive." That evening, the Coral Kingdom held a great celebration, brighter than any shell festival before. Every creature brought something to share: pearls, shells, songs, and even glowing algae that painted the water with ribbons of color. Pip performed a silly dance, making everyone laugh. The jellyfish floated above like glowing balloons. Even the shy seahorses joined the circle, swaying to the rhythm of the current. The great eel screamed as the light grew. Waves of brightness flooded the sea, washing away the darkness that clung to its body. The eel thrashed, twisting and turning, but the light only grew stronger until, with a final roar, it vanished back into the depths of the trench. Silence filled the ocean. Then, slowly, the reef began to sparkle again, brighter than ever before. The glowing stones blazed with color, the coral towers shimmered, and laughter echoed through the water. Pip swam to Finley, eyes wide. "You did it! You scared the great eel away." Finley smiled tiredly. "No, we did it. Together." Coralina glided forward, her old eyes glowing warmly. "You've learned well, Finley. Greed steals light, but generosity makes it endless." Finley looked around at all the happy faces, the sparkling reef, and felt something deep inside, a peace brighter than any pearl or treasure. That night, as the sea rested beneath the moon, the Coral Kingdom celebrated. Every fish, big and small, joined in song, their voices rising through the water like music. Finley swam to the surface, looking up at the stars. They shimmered like tiny glowing stones in the vast ocean above. "For so long, I kept my light hidden," he whispered. "But now, I think it finally shines." And far below, in the deepest part of the sea, a faint echo replied, not angry this time, but almost peaceful. "Share your light, little fish." Finley barely managed to hide behind a rock as the eel coiled around the reef, sucking the brightness from the glowing stones. Each time it touched one, the light dimmed and died. "Stop!" Finley shouted, darting forward without thinking. His golden scales gleamed faintly, reflecting the little light that remained. "You can't take everything. You'll make the sea dark forever." The great eel laughed, a low, terrible sound. "And what will you do, little fish? You are small. Weak. Afraid." Finley swallowed hard. He was afraid, his fins trembled, his heart raced. But then he remembered Coralina's words, "The sea remembers kindness." He looked around at his friends, Pip hiding under coral, the crab clutching a broken shell, the jellyfish glowing weakly, and something inside him sparked. "I'm not weak," he said softly. "Not anymore." He darted toward the creature's enormous tail, darting between the swirls of darkness. The eel roared, snapping at him, but Finley was too quick. He darted upward and shouted, "Everyone! Bring your lights! All of them!" Coralina understood first. She lifted her glowing stone high, letting its faint light shimmer. Pip followed, and soon, dozens of fish swam forward, each holding their light proudly. Together, their small lights began to merge, forming a radiant glow across the reef. The eel hissed and recoiled. "No! That light, it burns!" Finley realized the truth. This light wasn't just from the stones. It was the light of their kindness, of their unity, glowing brighter than any treasure. He swam right up to the eel's face, his scales gleaming brighter and brighter. "You can't take this from us," he shouted. "Because it's not something to keep, it's something to share." Days passed, and the coral kingdom tried to return to normal. The fish repaired their coral homes, the seaweed gardens grew again, and the glowing stones still shone faintly in the water. Yet beneath the calm surface, Finley could feel something dark stirring, a chill that crept through the ocean like a whisper. At night, when the moonlight rippled down from above, he could hear faint rumbling sounds, like distant thunder beneath the waves. The other fish tried to ignore it, but Finley couldn't sleep. The sound made his fins shiver. One evening, as he rested near his cave, Pip the clownfish came swimming fast, his tiny fins fluttering in panic. "Finley! You have to come! The light near the reef is going out!" Finley darted after him. When they reached the reef, a cold shadow was already spreading. The glowing stones they had shared began to flicker and fade one by one, swallowed by darkness. Out of the gloom, a deep, echoing voice rolled through the water. "Who dares steal my light?" Finley froze. From the deep trench beyond the coral wall, a massive shape emerged. It was a sea creature unlike anything Finley had ever seen, its body long and coiled like a serpent, its eyes burning like green fire. Its scales were black as night, and around its neck hung dozens of broken shells and pearls, treasures taken from others long ago. "The greed eel," Coralina whispered, arriving beside them. "It has returned." The creature's voice shook the sea. "For centuries, I have slept in darkness. Now, you have stolen what is mine, the ocean's light." Finley trembled. "It's not yours. We found the glowing stones and shared them so the reef could shine again." The eel's eyes narrowed. "Shared?" it hissed. "Fools! Light belongs to those strong enough to keep it." With a mighty sweep of its tail, it sent waves crashing through the reef. Coral towers snapped, shells scattered, and frightened fish fled in every direction. "Greedy?" Finley echoed. "Yes," said Coralina softly. "Once, long ago, there was a creature who wanted to keep all the ocean's light for itself. It stole from others, until the sea grew cold and empty. The tide banished it to the deep trench, but perhaps it has awoken once more." Finley's scales tingled. "What if it comes here?" "Then," said Coralina, "the ocean will need every brave and generous heart it has." Finley looked down at his golden fins, once a symbol of vanity, now trembling slightly. He didn't feel brave. But he remembered the smiles of the others when he shared the glowing stones. That warmth inside him, that light, was something the greedy creature could never steal. He took a deep breath, watching the dark horizon. "If the sea needs me," he whispered, "I'll help. I won't be greedy anymore." Coralina nodded with a knowing smile. "Good. Because sometimes, the smallest fish can make the biggest waves." But then he saw Pip, the little clownfish, trying to lift a broken shell for his home, his fins trembling. And a small crab crying because his shiny pearl had rolled away into the deep. Finley sighed. "Okay," he said quietly. "Let's share them." Together, he and Coralina gathered the glowing stones and swam from home to home. They gave one to Pip, one to the crab, one to the jellyfish, and soon the whole reef began to shimmer again, not as brightly as before, but with a softer, warmer light. Everywhere they went, the sea creatures smiled and thanked Finley. For the first time, instead of pride, he felt something new, joy. When the work was done, Coralina placed a small glowing stone near Finley's cave. "You've done a kind thing today," she said. "The sea remembers kindness, little one. It flows through everything, like the tide." Finley blushed. "Thank you, Coralina. But, do you think the festival will ever shine again?" The old turtle chuckled. "Of course it will. But remember, Finley, light without love fades quickly." That night, Finley couldn't sleep. The reef glowed softly outside his cave, but something else caught his eye, a dark shadow moving far in the distance. It slithered through the deep trench beyond the coral wall, larger than any fish he had ever seen. He shivered. The water around him grew cold. "Just the current," he whispered to himself. But deep down, he knew it wasn't just that. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. The water grew darker, colder. Some of the glowing stones began to dim, as though a great darkness was swallowing their light. Finley swam to Coralina's resting spot near the seaweed forest. "Coralina, something's wrong. The light is fading again." She opened her wise eyes slowly. "I felt it too. There is something stirring in the deep, something old, something greedy." The next morning, the coral kingdom looked nothing like it had before. The bright coral towers were dull and broken, the sand was scattered, and the shells from the festival had vanished into the deep. Even the sunlight seemed dimmer, as if the sea itself were tired. Finley swam slowly among the ruins, feeling an ache in his heart. Everywhere he looked, he saw worried faces, little fish trying to rebuild their homes, seaweed gardens torn apart, jellyfish drifting sadly in the current. He wanted to help. Truly, he did. But he didn't know how. Then he saw Coralina again, swimming carefully among the broken corals. Her shell had new scratches, and she looked weary, but her eyes were still calm. "Good morning, Finley," she said gently. Finley looked down. I'm sorry about last night. I didn't help anyone." Coralina smiled softly. "You helped by staying safe." The sea was angry, and that was no small thing. But now the sea is calm again, and it's time to heal. Finley looked around. "Everything's broken, Coralina. How can we fix all this?" The old turtle tilted her head thoughtfully. "When the ocean takes, it always gives something back. We just need to look for it." Finley frowned, unsure what she meant. But then, a glimmer caught his eye, a light flickering deep beneath a fallen coral arch. Curious, he darted forward and discovered a cluster of tiny glowing stones, shining softly like fireflies. "Coralina! Look," he called. "These could help light up the reef again." Coralina's eyes brightened. "Oh, Finley! They're beautiful. If we share them among everyone, we can make the reef sparkle once more." Finley froze. Share them? The word echoed in his mind. He thought of his secret cave, full of treasures, all his. The glowing stones were so rare, so bright. What if he kept them instead? He could be the most admired fish in the whole ocean. Finley's heart began to ache. He looked at his hidden cave full of treasures, all safe, all his, and suddenly, they didn't look so wonderful anymore. The cave felt darker than before. He swam toward the entrance and whispered to himself, maybe beauty does shine brighter when it's shared." As he took the rainbow glass in his fins, it caught the faint light from the moon, scattering colors all around his cave. It looked like the sea itself was smiling. And for the first time, Finley smiled too. Finley hesitated. The Shell Festival was the most beautiful night in the Coral Kingdom. Every sea creature brought a shiny treasure to decorate the coral reef, making it glow like the stars above the sea. But Finley didn't like sharing. "Sorry, Coralina," he said. "I don't think I can help." Coralina nodded gently. "That's all right, dear one. Just remember, beauty is brighter when it's shared." And with that, she slowly swam away. Finley looked down at his shiny rainbow glass and frowned. For a moment, he wondered what it would look like at the festival, glowing among the other treasures. But then he shook his head. "No," he muttered. "If I give it away, I'll never see it again." He hid the glass deep inside his cave and swam off to boast to his friends. Later that evening, the ocean began to change. The warm current that flowed through the reef turned cold. The lights of the Shell Festival flickered weakly as a shadow passed overhead. It was a great dark wave, sweeping down from the open sea. The smaller fish panicked. Their decorations were scattered, shells tumbled, and seaweed lanterns went dark. Finley watched from his cave, clutching his treasures tightly. "At least my things are safe," he said. But outside, he heard frightened voices crying for help. A little clownfish named Pip called out, "Finley! The wave washed away our shells. We don't have any light for the festival." Finley peeked out. He saw the others searching through the sand, trying to find what they lost. His shiny rainbow glass could have made a beautiful light, bright enough for everyone. But he hesitated. What if someone took it and didn't return it? Then he saw Coralina struggling against the current, trying to help the smaller fish gather their shells. Her cracked shell glowed faintly under the moonlight above the surface.